Assalamualaikum. I will explain about the midterm of the term of environment. Environment is important for human life because the environment provide food, clean air, and clean water for human survival. So, a clean environment is the reflection of many people who are working together to preserve and protect it from pollution. So the term of environment refer to one's surroundings or circumference. As a result, based on literal translation, the term of environment refers to anything that surrounds human. Then, concern about the planet's environmental well-being generated several of the philosophical and ideological school of thought, as well as social movement, all of which can be summed up under the general word environmentalism. So, according to Neil Carter in environmental politics, the political environment differ at least two ways. First, environmental politics is focused on the link between human society and the natural world. The second one, environmental politics has its own ideology and political movement. So, according to Khalid and Rahman, the article explores the sustainable development and the role of nation, law, and policy concerns. Malaysia has a larger role to play in conserving its natural resource in order to offset the consequences of global warming and ensure long-term development. The goal of this article is to identify and the enabling of preventive structure of efficient water resource management policies in Malaysia. So, in this article, there is about Malaysian law and policy to explore sustainable development. So, in this article that we studied, is about environmental politics. So the issue is environmental politics that turn into political issue and used to make political decision in a certain place. So this environmental issue, the purpose of they play the environmental issue is to gain the voter support. So both political parties, whether government or the opposition, so they play with the environmental issue to get support from the public for their sakes of the party survival.
Environmental issues have been made a medium of debate, which has been made a political issue in environmental politics. In a classic study, political environments are influenced by the country's political system. A political system, according to Robert Duff, is a consistent pattern of human relationship that incorporates to a substantial extent control, influence, power, or authority. Speaking the right of the individual and organizational, they are better protected by democratic political system than by repressive, totalitarian, and dictatorial political system. The concept of democracy that was first introduced by Aristotle as a form of government, which is a government that outlines the power is in the hands of the people. Through the concept of democracy itself is able to be an influence on the consideration of political choices in an area. In the Gettysburg speech, Abraham Lincoln defined democracy as government by the people and for the people. This has proved that how important it is for the government to take good care of the welfare of the people. Many environmental issues have now been made as one of the issues used of political issues in a campaign or election. Lester Milbrough noted that this has become a most exciting new field of research for scholars of political theory against green political theory. Through an excerpt of a book that was authored by Robin Eckersley in May 1992, entitled Environmentalism and Political Theory towards an Ecocentric Approach, which refers to a diverse new view from the point of view of environmental philosophy to outline a particular green political perspective. Environmentalism and political theory is the coming together of a new field of political inquiry that is destined to become a more prominent part of political studies and reporting throughout the world. an interdisciplinary research project that serves as a bridge in order to connect environmental philosophy, ecological thinking, and political inquiry. Human thinking and behavior, according to J.M. Mayer, should not be seen as superior or subordinate to the non-human natural world, but rather as interconnected. He illustrates how conflicts over hazardous waste dumps in impoverished neighborhoods, land use in the American West, and rainforest conservation in the Amazon highlight this link and suggest toward an environmental politics that acknowledge the sense of place as essential in its analysis in the final chapter. Human thinking and behavior need to balance between power or profit with environmental sustainability. It is a relationship between human beings and nature that they need each other. The issue of environmental pollution does not stop at threatening well-being and health. It even has economic and social impact flowing into the political arena and humanitarian crisis. Environmental objectives should not be seen as foreign from aspect of life. Instead, they are constructed and applied to areas such as economic, political, and social. As already mentioned, that this environmental policy has evolved globally and is a relatively new field of study. It focuses on issues related to interactions between humans as well as the natural world at the international level. Scholars have written about the role of natural resources in global security and the civil political economy of the mid-19th century. Environmental policy focuses on studies in this field that cover global environmental problems such as ozone depletion, climate change, biodiversity loss, deforestation, and desertification. Politics is one of the areas that need to raise environmental issues that need to be made a priority for every party in mission. Not only that, but the authorities or the government need to be directly involved in planning and addressing any issues and problems related to the environment. Nature also needs to be respected by human beings as they are the largest users of natural resources. According to Ted Batman, in the environmental philosophy, explained that environmental ethics is a study that emphasizes the relationship, values, and moral status of human beings to their environment, including animate and inanimate objects. Authorities or government, as well as all parties, need to give the main emphasis to environmental issues and use the political field itself properly in addressing every problem that arises from environmental problems. It is and argued that some parties have taken advantage by manipulating environmental issues as political issues, which is in the interest and survival of political parties. Environmental issues have become an issue fought by this party, both the government and the opposition. This issue is also hotly debated in various media, especially the mainstream media, which has led to arguments between the government political party and the opposition. Various arguments and reasons have been given after this environmental issue is politicized by linking the negative effect that occur, which is the reason for pointing fingers to show the failure of the authorities, that is the ruling party, in dealing with the issue wisely and well without affecting the environment as well as human life. This question related to the environment is scrutinized through environmental politics in raising this issue so that it can be resolved in the right way and not in the interest of the party alone. This is related to making the environmental issue to attract the attention of the people to be with those who are ultimately politically motivated.
I am Muhammad Shafiq and I would like to expand about the factor of environmental politics in Malaysia. Firstly, the source of water supply in Malaysia. In Malaysia, there has a factor of environmental politics that is caused by the limited water supply in some of Malaysia states. For example, the states of Kedah is facing a various issue and problem due to domestic water supply, which are seen to be disrupt the lives of people and burden the Kedah state government. This is caused by the Kedah government did not repay the loan at all due to the failure of Kedah state government in providing a record of water supply loans payments. According to Chief Minister of Kedah, Muhammad Sanusi bin Muhammad Noor, in 2021, the federal government intervention need to be included to assist the negotiation between the Kedah State Water Resources Board and the Penang Water Supply Corporation. This showed that the political environmental issue of water supply to the state of Kedah still do not solve that causes from the different political perspective among the state of Penang. That's why the water supply issue has not been solved until these days. The issue of logging in Malaysia. This is because in 2002 until 2012, Malaysia was ranked number 1 in the world for forest loss until causes 2,508,553 hectare of forest has been destroyed across the country in Sabah, Sarawak, Kelantan and Kedah. This logging issue causes from the log political fighter that maintain their power by strengthening this industry to gain a profit. According to Sarawak Chief Minister Tan Sri Adanan Satem, the campaign has been done that call Ops Gergaji, but these campaigns fail to going on until these days because of illegal logging in our country. According to Transparency International Malaysia in 2016, Malaysia lose 800 ringgit to 900 million ringgit in timber every year caused by the illegal logging and the corruption among the political organization. According to Malaysia Kini News in 2020, in Kedah and Kelantan, the Malaysia Islamic Party government, after 2 weeks governing the states, has been resumed logging work and resume lesson that has been suspended while Pakatan Harapan government took control of the state. Last but not least, the agriculture sector in Kedah also become the factor of environmental political in our country. This is because the agriculture sector activity are the government agenda to be development country, but the process of development will impact the environment and cause the pollution in the area. According to the annual report of Kedah Department of Environmental in 2016, they has shown that the number of the air pollution complaints is higher than water pollution, solid waste and noise pollution. For example, in 1999 until 2016, there has 77.9% or 192 of complaint about the dust emission from paddy mills. Next, the air pollution is also caused by the use of pesticides in the agriculture sector that has been used by the farmer for the agriculture activity. Therefore, in desire to gain the profit from the efficient and productive techniques, the modern agriculture inputs will impact on the nature and the public health.
Okay, my name is Muhammad Zarifuddin bin Muhammad Nosi, and now I will explain about the effect that occur because of the political environmental. We will go through the positive impacts. The first of positive impact is environmental politic able to create improvement in environmental management practice. This can be shown through introduction of several subjects of environmental learning and education in the education system in Malaysia, such as the subject environmental education, civics and citizenship education and geography. The subjects will help citizens and students to know their responsibility in keeping environmental in harmony and good condition. In 2019, Tun Dr. Mahathir stated that civic education in schools will not be a burden but aims to form a pure values such as responsibilities, discipline and love for the environment. This statement proves that environmental political involvement through the education system can have a positive impact on political change, development and implementation of new environmental policies. Okay, the next is the growth development of science and technology. The government bodies and organizations will work together in realizing Malaysia's objective to reach the level of developing countries without neglecting the importance of the environment in such efforts. Ministry of Environment Datuk Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man state that it will conduct a detailed review of the 40 environmental initiatives outlined earlier by the Ministry of Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change, MESTEC. Several priorities have been stated, namely the review of policies, the overhaul of environmental enforcement, especially aspects that prioritize the use of technology in management. Science and technology will evolve and progress in environmental management, such as matters should always be prioritized according to the current situation. Okay, the last positive impact of political environmental is high public participation in the decision making of a policy. The cooperation provided by all parties is very important, so that the policies made or formulate will meet the standards and provide a positive and maximum impact on the social science and the environment. Ministry of Environmental will review the 4 main thrusts under the 40 environmental initiative, which is strengthening core governance, economic growth, increasing core social, and strengthening strategic collaboration. The department are optimistic to make a strengthening of the legal and policy framework. For example, the Ministry of Environment is targeting a review of the National Environmental Policy 2002 and in-depth review of the National Climate Change Policy 2009 and the improvement of the Environmental Impact Assessment EIA procedure. Environmental politics is very helpful to generate opinions and ideas in discussing or review a policy towards better environmental management. However, there are also negative impact that occur because of the political environment. The first is lack of credibility of the authorities due to too many policies that must be implemented. There are many parties that required during implementation of a policy and leads to an overlap of powers in the policy, thus allowing third parties or illegal settlers to take advantage of the space. Reports from Berita Harian there is happened a large-scale mining and exploration activities in the Tasik Chini area became increasingly worrying despite having received approval from the state government in 2011. This is because the exploration has exceeded the agreement agreed between the mining and Pahang state government. Due to that, in 2021, the President of Sahabat Alam Malaysia, Meenakshi Rahman, state that the Pahang state government should be firm in laws and policies set, as well as mobilize the authorities to continue to monitor the latest development of Tasik Chini in an effort to protect the property and the sustainability of nature and ecosystems in the area. The next negative impact is difficulties in making coordination due to too many organizations debating environmental issues. Where the parties such as NGO and government of the organization present their opinions in discussing environmental issues, it will definitely create an overlap of power among them. For example, regarding the issue of Tasik Chini, the Pahang state government has stated that they have implemented conservation efforts on the forest areas explored around the area. However, several NGOs, including the Sahabat Alam Activist Association, denied allegations that the area around Lake Chini has been preserved based on several proofs such as satellite image showing that there are some areas that are still affected, especially in the southern area of Lake Chini. This argument shows that difficulties in making coordination do indeed occur in environmental politics, as the parties involved dispute which is other their responsibilities in resolving environmental related issues.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Firdaus. Okay, today I want to present about the conclusion. Okay, in conclusion, responder of water in Kedah as a whole still have the perception that environmental issues are not important to be fought by political parties, but they think the environmental issues are a shared responsibility between the local people and the authorities. Okay, when the environmental issues are hit out by the media, they continue to point finger at the politician, at the member of the state legislative assembly or member of parliament who are said not to be on the ground or not serious to overcoming the problem. Okay, as a solution, all parties, whether the public, political leader or the implementer and state authorities, need to play a joint role to resolve the problem properly and wisely. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.